friends, this is Jessica, the Sweetwater Stitcher, and today is Tuesday, September 3rd. I hope you all had a great Labor Day weekend, a 4-day weekend, and you were able to get stitching in, time with family, rest, and whatever else you wanted to do. I was able to get a lot of organizing and cleaning done. I redecorated and put out some, I remembered I had a box of bee things, and so I put out some bee decorations, and you will have seen some pictures at the beginning, and I do have some pieces to show you that were flat finishes that I turned into pillows to fill my dough bowl. I also hung some curtains, which we've lived in this house for 3 years, and they have been sitting, waiting to be hung. So I finally got to do that, and just trying to clean and organize while everyone was at school during the week after my last video. And then this weekend was able to get some stitching in. And honestly, a lot of football was watched at our house, mostly by my husband. I did watch a little bit and stitch while watching, so it was good because it wasn't distracting me, and I got a lot of stuff done. So that was pretty much our weekend, and now we're back. Everyone's at school today, and I have, as always, lots of things to share and show. So as I said, I hope everyone had a great weekend and were able to get their stitching in, and we are now in September. So I will be sharing what I finished or worked on at the end of August, and then I did have a new September start for Sampler September, and I have some other things throughout the month that I'm going to start and work on, but I'll share my first start, which is what I've worked on the past couple days. But before I get to showing stuff, I did want to I have a couple announcements. Last night, and I'm looking at my phone because I want to tell you the right thing. Last night, I was watching Stacy and her husband Brian and their son Danny, who are Thread the Needle Stitchery, and they used to live in Florida, and they just recently moved to Tennessee. And last year, they hosted the Beach Please retreat, which I attended, and I met a lot of you and met up with other friends, but it was a great retreat. And so they are going to host another one. Now, it's not going to be in Florida again because they moved, but they are going to be hosting it in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, and it will be November 6th through the 8th, 2025. And Stacy said last night that they're hoping to have the registration link live on September 15th. So if you are interested, if you are close to there or want to get to Pigeon Forge, be sure to look out for that. She puts on a great retreat. They did say they got some different feedback, and they're taking all of that into consideration to make the second retreat even better. And honestly, the first one was great. So anything they do will just make it better. The designer is going to be Susan from Sweet Wing Studio. And they have details on the pricing and the hotel and all that stuff over on their channel. So I'll put a link below. It's Thread the Needle Stitchery, and she has an online shop as well. But then also all the details are in that video that they share. She also, which I cannot remember the date, I want to say it was in November this is going to go on sale, still with Thread the Needle Stitchery, she's doing a collaboration with Jess from Como Stitches, who will make a bag. Susan from Sweet Wing Studio will make a chart, and then Caroline, I believe is her name, from Siggy's Closet, is going to make a needle minder and I think a thread ring. And so it'll be like a Christmas pack. And if you have Jess's bags or Susan's charts, and I have, I think I've ordered something from Siggy's Closet. I can't remember, but I know that Lenny and Roberta on Sable Stitchers, they share a lot from her too. that they will have a collaboration. So be on the lookout for that as well. And then just for the retreats, if you are interested in attending a retreat, other people talk about them, but also the Sable Stitchers, Roberta and Lenny, they have a website, and it's sablestitcher.net. I believe it's .net. I'll put it below. But you can go to their website, and they have, as long as people have let them know or they are aware of retreats, they have them listed there. So if you're looking for one to go to, that would be the first place to look. And then just on social media, other Flosstubers talk about retreats either they went to or they are going. And so most of the time, if they've gone, whoever hosted it will host another one around that time the next year. So just be on the lookout if that's something you're interested in. And then I know Elaine with Annabella's, she does online retreats, and some others have some online type of things. But that's just a way to be on the lookout. But I did want to mention Stacy's retreat coming up because the other one was so great. All right. So that's all the announcement type of things. I am going to show a few things, then give the giveaway winners from last time. And then I will kind of intersperse, I think, or after the giveaways, I compiled a list, as many as I could write down, of Flosstubers people recommended that they watch. It is not everyone that I did not write every single one down. So if you are looking for a new Flosstube to watch, go check the comments out from the last video, which was 77 or 78, I think. And there are a ton of recommendations. A lot of them I watch already, and then some that I haven't watched. So let me go ahead and show. This is the bowl, and it's a little heavy because I did end up using the poly pellets when I refilled them. But this is my little bowl. And if you remember if you've been here, for like or over the summer, I had this filled with more patriotic finishes. And so I think what I'm going to do until I kind of get back to that is each time I pull my box out of decorations, I'm going to go through, and I'm not taking everything apart. I have more framed pieces I want to put up. And so then some of the flat finishes, I don't have anywhere to put them now. So instead of just putting them back in the box, I thought I'd take them apart, turn them into pillows so I could fill this, still enjoy the stitching that I did, but then it's kind of repurposed and it has a new life. And it was really fun to change the finish up, and to me it just makes it a little more interesting. So the first one, and I'm going to try to remember what they're all called. This one, of course, I do not remember what this is called. But this is a stitching with the Housewives, and it has the plaid all the way around. I'll put a link to what they are below if you're interested. But this is on 14 count chalkboard Aida, and it has as you can hear, the poly pellets I put in here. It's heavy. It could hurt somebody. But I thought I wanted to try, because I've never used the poly pellets in my pillows. I always use the cotton stuffing, or I had been using polyfill. And I thought maybe this would help to make them stand up, because I have them in this bowl, and it actually did help a little bit. So this is the first one, and I know it says summer. We're still in summer till the end of September. But it has the sunflowers and the bees, and the backing is this fabric I think it was from Joann's. And I will show you two of them. I accidentally sewed the backing on inside out, but they're sitting in a bowl. No one's going to see the backs, and so I was not going to rip it apart. Oh, this is one of them. So this is another one. And this was one of the, I can't remember. I didn't write down what any of these were. This is one of their PDF ones that were it was the square. Can't even think of what it's called. Here's the fabric that is sewn on inside out. But it's, like I said, it's sitting in the bowl and no one's going to see the back. So it looks, I wasn't going to change it. But I put some vintage rickrack, which is from Lady Dot. And I decided to just glue my rickrack on this time. So I just used a little bit of Aleene's tacky glue and glued it down, and it's fine. So, and I sewed I sewed and left an opening at the bottom, whip stitched it shut, and then put this on there. And I did the same here. And I mean, you can't even see where I stitched it. All right, this is another one of the, I can't even, you turn the video on and you completely forget what you're going to say. This is Honeybee Farm, and it's one of the little square ones as well. I did this on, and this was on 14 count black Aida. So you can see this is on chalkboard and this is on black. So that's the difference. And then this one was on the like kind of gray gingham. And so this is 28 count and this is 14. They're like this, they're the same size, but this one is I did it a little tighter, which is why it's a little bit smaller. But I think it was probably had to do with the glue, because all of these they were all put onto the pieces with hot glue. And so I had to take the hot glue off to get them like this. I think this is honestly my favorite. This is Humble Honey by Hands On Design. And again, sewn on backwards. I did use this is Fiber on a Whim trim, and I want to say it's Tuscan is the color. It's really pretty. It matches I think this is Tennessee Red Clay. But this was originally done on black. Kathy from Hands On Design, this is her chart. But I had used, I don't remember if I used the exact colors or not, that Christy from Java Girl Stitches, it's hard to show these with the poly pellets in them. Christy from Java Girl Stitches had changed the colors, and this is on a 25 count. I don't know which color it is. It's one of Lori's 25 count. But I love it on this light fabric. It looks really good. But like the words were supposed to be white, so they were black coffee and whatever. So I love this one. And then this, I did not redo this. I did this either last year or the year before. This is a portion from a bigger chart that was a collaboration with Priscilla and Kathy with Hands On Design. I want to say it's Queen Bee Farm or something like that. And so this was just a little portion I did, and then I put it with some of their stripes, and then this was the back. And this is a little charm. I want to say Chris Leedy made me this. I put on the back with the little bee. And this was one of them that I sewed all the way around, and then I cut the slit in the back. And I really don't do that anymore. Now I sew and I stitch up the bottom. And this is on 27 count Linda. So you can see it's like a little bit tighter, but they're all cute, and they're in my bowl, and I'm able to look at them all. It's heavy. Look at them and enjoy them for the season. And like I said, it just kind of gave them a new light and a new life. And I'm able to enjoy them in a different way. So if that's something you're interested, it's not hard to do. And like I said, if you were someone who was using hot glue, it tears off. Some of it was left. And so let me see. It might be the ones, this one. So there was some hot glue still on here. And so I did my very, very best to get the corners as good as I could. And that's kind of too why I used the poly pellets, because I felt like it was a little more forgiving on my corners, not having to be exactly pointy, is because it was already going to be slouchy. And but I just poked it out with my corner turner as best as I could to get it out, and I took off as much of the hot glue as I could. You do have to be careful if you're going to iron it down or anything, because the hot glue would mess up your iron. But and I did put interfacing on the back of the pillows before, because I was a little nervous, especially like with the Ada, that because of the holes that the stuff was going to come out. But it all worked out, and like I said, I really am enjoying them. So next I want to go ahead and announce the giveaway winners from last video. So thank you so much for all the comments, for all of the recommendations of floss tubes. Some people had mentioned my hair. I did get my hair done. I had a trim and some highlights put in to cover up the lovely grays that I've been getting. But thank you guys so much for the comments and the recommendations. So if you are a winner, please send me an email to sweetwaterstitcher@gmail.com with your address. And then if you can say what number or what you won, it's helpful for me to pull the things quicker and get them in the mail. So this was number 1, which was the Halloween notebook. And the winner of this is Julie Walcott, WALCOTT, 4694. So that was number 1. Number 2 was the cross stitch clutch from Starlight Stitching Co. And the winner is Christy Riggs 261. Christy Riggs 261. Number 3 was Halloween Doodles, and the winner is Christy Bickett 7808. Number 4 was the Peppermint Bark quilt pattern, Leslie Gray 2949. The cross stitch or Silver Creek Samplers Scary Things October Brings, Sandy Arnold 6707. And the last one, which was the October wordplay, is the Virginia Stitcher. So if any of those were you, please send me an email, like I said, to sweetwaterstitcher@gmail.com with your name and address, and I'll put those in the mail when you get your address to me. All right. Now, let me go ahead, let me show a couple whips, and then I'll share some floss tubes, and then I'll show the rest of the whips. So the first thing I'm going to show, which again, not in any particular order, because I really don't, I did write it down, but of course I didn't write that part. I didn't bring that upstairs. So the first one was the Gather In by Plum Street Samplers. And I really am trying to work to get this potentially done this year. Not necessarily, it might be kind of in the season it's getting done. We'll see. But what I was able to do is I was able to fill in the rest of the windows. I don't think I had that. And I started filling in the house at the top, so all of this is filled in with Arrowhead, and then this is with the other color, and the horse is over here. So I am really enjoying this, and it's at a great place to be doing fill-in if I am watching TV, or I just have like a little bit of time to pick something up, I filled the stars in so I could work on filling the roof in as well. And this is stitched with all the called for colors on 36 count winter brew. And it's so pretty, and I thought, this would be a good one to try to see if I could get a decent amount done. If not, I'd like to try to get it finished, but we'll see. This is just a little thing that I found when I was searching around, and I thought, oh, this would be fun and potentially might be used for something in the future. These are Time for Halloween by Brenda Gervais, and I stitched up this little cat. And I did find, so it calls for the Tim Holt pocket watches. And so I ordered some, and somehow I ordered the mini ones, which I have another idea for those. But these are for the regular size. And the only ones I can find are, there's the size I need for this and a mini. But I need more than just 3, and so I'm trying to economically figure out how to find these. So I did find this at Michael's, and I can buy a big pack of these. I think this is a little smaller than the one from Tim Holtz, because when I held it up, the cat is supposed to have some, you're supposed to cut out extra letters to write October 31. And if I use this, I don't have room to put the letters, which is fine because it still looks cute. But that tells me that this is a little bit smaller. But if this is all I can find, then I'm okay with that. It's more the look that I'm going for. So this is on 40 count, and you're supposed to stitch it over 2 on 40. And this is it. It's so cute. So, and it would go in the pocket watch. Let's see if I can do this. There we go. Like this. So, it's really cute how it is. And then there's other things you do to get it in there. So I'm thinking I'm going to just get a few more of these to do what I'm thinking of doing with this, which I don't want to spoil it. So that's in that bag. I did not start this, but this is haul. I was able to get Autumn Swan, and I am going to stitch, this is called for to stitch on Winter Brew. I'm going to stitch this on 40 count Vintage Country Mocha, and I think I'm going to leave off the autumn words, and I'm just going to do the swan and everything else, but not the word, because that's how the summer one was with the flag, and I like that. I also decided to use the Vintage Country Mocha because that's what the other one was on. It looks good, and I know that it goes quickly. So we'll do that. This was another start, and this was a kit that I got from Jody, who is Simply Stitching Ocala. This is the chart, and she gave she has an Etsy shop where she sells this, and so she gave this to us all kitted up. This was our needle minder from the retreat, but she has backing fabric, she has chenille, a wool piece, and then it had all of the floss. And she doesn't do this for her kits in her shop, but for the retreat, she made us a thread bling with a part from the chart. So it was all kitted up, and I thought, I'm going to work on something small until September, which I ended up pulling out Gather In, and I think I did one other thing. But I do want to get this done. And I felt this was like day and night of one day. So I feel like That's about, it's like a third. And then, so it could, this could take more, but I mean like between 2-3 more days and this could be done. So, hold on, I'm showing you this the wrong way. Here we go. Here's how it's supposed to go. And this is on, this is on 36 count mocha from Be Stitch Me. Here we go. It's really, really pretty. And the colors are really pretty on here too. So I would like to get this done for the fall bowl, and I'm going to finish it and then I'll decide if I want to do a pillow or if I want to frame it. I'm not sure yet. And this was also part of haul. I'll go ahead and show it as I have it here. This was a bag I got from Kathy's Posies, which Lenny on the Sable Stitchers has been talking about, her Etsy shop. So cute. This is like a little panel sewn in, and this is the back. But I thought it was very cute. I went looking for the one Lenny has, which has like a flower sewn on, and she didn't have that, but she had this one. So I thought, well, that was fun. All right, let me go ahead and name off some of the floss tubers, and then I will share the rest of the things I worked on. All right, so people that were mentioned, the Seattle Stitcher, Periwinkle Stitcher, which, like I said, a lot of these I also watch. I just hadn't watched them before last time. Two Needles Pulling Thread, Once Upon a Stitch, The Museum Stitcher, Frizzy Lizzie, Elizabeth Ann, Pumpkin Hollow Quilts, Black Coffee and Grits, Helen D, Hobbies of Holly, Shari Moss, Mrs. Jones Stitches, The Wandering Stitcher, Salt Box Stitcher, Be a Blessing Stitcher, Red Cross Stitcher, Country Stitchers, Colorado Cross Stitcher, Thread Gremlins, Garden Goose Stitcher, The Fanciful Flamingo, Stitching with the Housewives, The Bougie Stitchers, Camping Stitcher, Privies and Prims, The New Hampshire Stitcher, Mrs. Smith Stitches, Java Girl Stitches, Snug Harbor Crafts, Just Keep Stitching with Pam and Steph, Simply Stitching Ocala, Vana, The Twisted Stitcher, I said Helen D already, and Lizzie the Stitcher. So, like I said, that there were like comments just kept coming, and I was trying to write everything, but that's all I got written down. But if you, also Tara Sully Stitches. So if you have other, or you're looking for other ones, go ahead and look in the comments, like I said, because there were more on there. All right, the last couple things I worked on this a little bit, and then I thought I'm gonna wait. This is kind of, I worked on it, and then I thought I'm gonna work on something fall before September, and I can pull this back out for sampler September. But this is the floral motif sampler, and so I was able to get a little more done. I finished the red flower pot. I got this white flower in, and I got this in, and I think I put this little one in too. But this is on 40 count graham cracker by Wabi Sabi, which is Kitten Stitcher. It's her son Graham, his dying, and I love this. So I'm thinking what I might do is pull this out every couple days and put in a couple motifs to try to get, and this is kind of where the border is. It's the back. I would like to try to get, maybe fill the border all the way around, and then slowly start filling in till I got to the bottom and then move over. But I've mentioned before, this is a project I would like to try to get done before the end of the year. So I'm not thinking it's going to be happening in Sampler September. However, I'd like to try to put in a little bit each day and see if I can get that. Can't get this thing closed. Just get some good progress on it. Everything is falling. All right, this was on August 31st. I saw a Bernadette who is Burn Stitches. There's another Flosstube. Or I think she has Instagram. I don't know if she has Flosstube actually. But she's on Instagram at Burn Stitches. And she finished this piece, and I have been looking at it and thought, you know what? I'm just going to start this because I had the chart, I had all the floss, and I had a piece of fabric to start it. So I came up and got this started. And I know Rika from House of Stitch and Stash, she started it too. And she's another floss tuber. I don't remember if I mentioned her last time. It's in this cute kitty corn bag this is a fob that someone gave me last year at the pep rally at Chantel's. So cute. This is one of my favorite bags. It's from Michelle Lee Quilts, and I love this fabric. This is the kitty, and I'm not a cat lover, which don't come at me for that, but I love this fabric so much. It's so cute. And I have another one, and I can't remember if it's the cats or it's the other. I just love this so much. Okay, and then this is where I am. I'm stitching this on 40 count Albarium by Cedar River Linens. And what I did, let me get the chart back out to show you. What I did is I started in the middle at the top, so that, and here's this, started in the top middle, so up here, so that I could get to over here, which is the hanging thread, is the bird. Then I could come down and get to some of the houses to start working on, or I could get to the moon to get that start. Like, so I could kind of go anywhere, because I was thinking about starting in the middle, which that would put me right in the middle of the house. And I was not opposed to that. However, I was wanting to get to some color and not just be stuck with the black to start off with. So that's why I decided to start up there. And these are the colors on the linen, which is really pretty. And Bernadette, she used Cream and Sugar by Fiber on a Whim, and I pulled that out also, but then I had this piece of Cedar River, and I thought, well, that would be a good piece. And I ended up doing 40 count because 40 count, it's still a decent size for this. But I also have, I didn't start it, but I have a Ghoul Tide Welcome by Plum Street that I am like dying to do, but it's so big. And I thought, well, if I start this, I could potentially get this done this year once I kind of get into more Halloween stitching. All right, my one last whip, which this was my start. So I showed some of the things I was going to work on for the month, and this was the one I decided to start with first. This is Mary Ann Kopp by Brenda Gervais with I Needle and Thread. And I decided on this one to start right in the middle, which puts me right at the top of the house. So what I was able to get done, and this was The 1st and the 2nd, I worked on this. And this is Not Another Sampler by Be Stitch Me. Let me get the colors too. I'm using all the called for cotton colors, and I have one of the Vicky Claytons. It was for the DMC, which I might get the DMC still. I haven't I just hadn't got it at the time. But this is where I am, and this is the colors. So I was able to, let me see if I can see and talk. There we go. I was able to get the roof all outlined and the white all and filled in, and the top, which I did end up using. Let me see if I can clip this on here. I did end up using the Sweet Potato by Weeks for the chimneys, and I think I'm going to just use that on the house instead. I talked about this last week, instead of using Clockwork, because, and I was when I start the house, I might still do it, I don't know. I was considering kind of switching off. However, so Clockwork is the brighter one, and this is Sweet Potato. This has so much variegation in it. It honestly, you can't really see it in the camera, but this is looking like bricks, and all I did was stitch across. I didn't do anything I didn't change floss. I just used one strand. And then I came down and started outlining the house, and then I'll move to do the windows and the bricks so I can get the house done. Oops. But I hope you can see that. It's so pretty. And the roof is blue corn. So the colors are awesome. And I mentioned last week, I'm thinking about changing the flowers, the ones that were purple, to like just using just doing the yellow and the orange, which I don't even remember which cut, but just kind of switching between these and get rid of the blue and the purple. I still haven't decided yet. Like I said, I have nothing against the blue and the purple, but I was thinking it kind of looks to me, especially on this linen, it's looking very fall-like, and I thought that would make it a little bit more fall-looking, and it would be a good piece to have as kind of a centerpiece to my fall displays. But we'll see. And this is in a berry bag I had gotten from Stitch Folk. All right, that is everything that I worked on, which I know is a lot. But I kind of, after the video, I just wanted to do whatever I wanted to do until the end of the month, pretty much. And then I knew I was going to be starting my samplers. And so I kept trying to put myself off from starting it until the 1st, which I did. All right, now let's see. Let me go ahead and talk about haul, and then we will do the giveaways and be done. So for haul, one of the things I got, which I haven't bought this chart yet, and so I'll probably go and buy it, but this was the pumpkin bowl that Tanya from the Scarlet House had mentioned buying at Hobby Lobby, and so I did buy this, and I'm either going to stitch the piece she has designed to go in it, or I'll just use it as a display or something, but either way, I thought it was cute, and there's a darker one too that I might go back and get. I haven't got it yet. This I bought from Hobby House because the Flosstuber, and I heard Michelle from Mama Loves You GB, she mentioned her too. Let me tell you, where did I put it? Lizzie was her her Flosstube, and she had showed the 30 free samplers. And this was one of the free samplers that she had on linked. And they charted this in DMC and also Jenny Thompson flower thread. And so when you click this is linked to Hobby House to print it. So I printed this, and then I bought the Jenny Thompson thread pack. It's missing one color to go with it. And so I thought this might be a fun one to start, and I could use the flower thread, and I have a piece of 20, it's either 28 or 32 from number 12 Stitch Co. that I think would look really good with the flower thread. So I thought this might be a fun one, and these were fun fall colors to me. So if you get this chart is a free download, and then I bought the Jenny Thompson flower thread to go with it. And I like using the flower thread. All right, I also got my club from two of my clubs from Victorian Rose Needle Arts. One of them is the Belle Soie club, and these were the colors that we got. Very pretty. Let me put them on here. Cranberry, Rosebud, Mare Blue, Icing, and Evergreen. So here are the silks. Excuse me. Also, I am in the Seraphim Fabric Club with her, and the color was Summer Storm. Just really pretty. And I believe she might have more, like if you're not in the club, if you wanted to order from Victorian Rose. So that, and she always, I don't know if it's with every order or if it's the clubs, she always sends this pin. I have this pin from Black Cat Stitchery too. This is like my favorite pin. It has the little stylist on the end, and it just writes so nice. So that was just a little freebie. But that was from Victorian Rose. Then I ordered this from the Old Needle Shop, and I thought this would be very cute to go in when I decorate for my fall with my pillows or my tier tray. This is a strawberry with the Teresa Koget fabric. The Old Needle Shop. And then I was influenced by Sean, the Periwinkle Stitcher, to buy this. This is from the Stitchery Sisters Cherry Garden Sampler. And so I bought the chart, and I also bought the finishing kit to finish it. They were out of the thread pack, but it's all Weeks Dye Works, so I either have it or I can get the thread. And I think, actually, this might have... I didn't even open this. Oh, yeah, this has the linen, too. So it has all of this with it. I hadn't even opened it. So I just need to buy the floss. But this is probably going to be like a spring, because it's more spring looking, but I thought it was so pretty. And Sean showed hers done. It's so cute. Into a little pouch. Then you will see have seen in my pictures, I hung up some new shelves, and I have right now some pillows in a box with stars on it. But I thought this was from Michael's. It's an oval bread basket, that this would be good to fit on that shelf, and I could put some of the pillows in. So I just picked this up, and it was on sale. And then let's see, what else did I get? I purchased, and I'm going to participate in this stitch along. It's going to start the first day of fall, which is September 22nd, I believe. I bought this from Jody at Simply Stitching Ocala, and it's a kit. It's called Dear Friends. And she sent a chart and needle minder to give away to you guys. So I'm not sure if she has kits on her site now. I know she was trying to get some more, but I believe at the very least she can get more of the charts. So if you want to participate, it's with Jody, Simply Stitching Ocala, and also our friend Felicia, Floss and Blocks are who are hosting it. But anybody can participate. So cute. So that'll be like towards the end of the month. I'll get that started. I also picked this up from her shop. I needed to get some linen for some of Annie's new, the Proper Stitcher's new releases, and she just had the lap and loop, so I got, I don't remember if this is one of them I need, but Tea Earl Grey Hot I got. Oh my gosh, the light is so awful I have good lighting, but it's so hard to see the linen. And then also the small potatoes, and I know this one is for the chart that I am starting as soon as I get my hands on it from her. And this was from Hobby House. I also had gotten, I have seen a few people stitching this and Peg. And then this is from Needle Made Designs. And this is a portion from the larger chart, which these were summer school projects from the attic at one point, but it's to stitch this. And then in this chart too, it tells you how to turn the cigar box into all of this. So this is a project at some point I would love to do. It's so cool. Okay, and I got a couple more things. It kind of, everything just kind of came at one time. These are from Team Egner, who is Tina on Etsy. This was there's thread drops in here, but I thought that was really pretty. And also these to kit up a fall piece. And she also has in here are these ones, Welcome Autumn. Really cute. I had been looking for this book from Blackbird, and the one chart that I love is this one, and that's the antique. So I kind of am good with what I'm starting for Sampler September, but I might kit this up and work on this. I'm not sure, but it's so, I just love this. And this coloring reminds me of that Brenda Gervais one I started. And then this is the last thing. I only have this part because my Sarah Stewart Hardiman is downstairs, but I did get my attic order, which I had ordered the silks and fabric for this chart and also for Sarah Stewart Hardiman for my birthday start. And so this is upstairs still. But this was, I had the chart and God Saw by Teresa Kogut. So pretty. And Jean had showed this on their Flosstube. She was starting it, and I think she's using this fabric. But this is the conversion that they sent. This is the 103s and the fabric to stitch this on. So pretty. So this, I'm not going to say I'm not going to do it, but this might be later on in the fall whenever I want something florally. We'll see, but I love this. And one of the reasons why I went ahead and bought the stuff now is because they are having you get a certain percentage off of the packs if you buy like the chart and the fabric and the silks, or if you buy the fabric and the silks, you get a certain percentage for September as their sampler of the month, because they have a whole ton of them. And this one was one of them, and so was Sarah Stewart Hardiman, which is, Sarah, that's my birthday start. But this one I have been eyeing and wanting to get it, so I thought, well, I'll just get it now since there is a discount. But that is what I have for today, and my birthday is tomorrow, so I will be starting Sarah Stewart Hardiman tomorrow, and I am so excited. If you have it or are interested, pull that out. And besides that, that's all I have for today until... Oh, wait, one more thing. I have some giveaways. My dog is distracting me. I have a few things to give away. So, if you are interested in giveaways, I had thought of a question and I totally forgot. Just tell me what you're working on. And also, so I had mentioned before, so September, a lot of people do Sampler September, but then I have seen a couple other things. Fat Quarter Shop is hosting Spooky September, so working on Halloween things, which I might throw some of my Halloween whips that I started in. Also, Denise from Goose is doing a stitch along with Teresa Kogut's new Scarecrow pattern. I want to say it's something about like in a world with Octobers or something. Excuse me. So she's doing like Scarecrow September. And then Java Girl Stitches, Christy and her friend Anna are doing Spooktacular September, and they're doing giveaways and different things on their Instagram. So go check that out if you're not doing samplers. All right, so to enter the giveaway, you need to be a subscriber over 18, like the video, and comment just what you're working on, and then you can use the numbers. So the first one is Hello Fall, and this was an extra one that I had. Number 2 is from Jody at Simply Stitching Ocala, Dear Friends. And number 3 is Making Beautiful Things by Teresa Kogut. So if you are interested in any of those, make sure to leave a comment below, like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you next week. Bye!